You know what? I want to know that my girlfriend ain't going to go out and cheat on me when I'm out of town, okay? That's what that's what I don't have with the snap-on sockets. Listen. What up, guys? CP the Tool Addict. Woo! I hope you're ready for this one because, yeah, if you've seen the title, come on, quit flipping around here, you little son of a gun. If you've seen the title, this one's going to be what I identify as. I identify as bacon. 73% fat and salty as frick. My top 5 worst snap-on scan tools, or worst tools. Let's jump right into this and kick it off. My number 5 tool is going to be a love and hate, okay? Now, keep in mind, I don't hate all snap-on tools, and this is 5 of very many SKUs out there. So, I'm not a snap-on fanboy, but we're going to talk about the ones that I can't stand the most and why. The ones I hate. And I kind of regret buying this one. This is my least regrettable, though, of this list. This is the EDM 596K scan tool, or multimeter, excuse me, advanced digital multimeter for you purists. And the things that I don't like about this is, 1, the 9-volt battery usage. Now, keep in mind, this kit is listed right now for $770, and I did not pay anywhere near that. I can honestly say, I think when I bought this, it was $550. I got $100 off, plus I traded in one of my old multimeters. So I got a pretty good deal on this. And still, I would not pay that again today when I'm saying this. The one thing that I really can't stand about this tool is absolutely the fact that it blows through 9-volt batteries. I mean, it's worse. It's the worst tool I've ever seen in my life for using batteries. Worse than just a normal pocket light with AAAs. It absolutely just blows. It sucks. The other thing I don't like about this is the fact that the fuses on this are ungodly expensive. Now, granted, I blew a fuse and that was my fault. I've only done it once. I do buy spares, but I think they were like 20 or 30 bucks, and I think they were closer to 30 if I'm being honest. The other thing I don't like about this is the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth is kind of sketchy. They've updated a couple times, but a lot of times I get frustrated with actually using it. Now, and the other thing is that I don't like about this is the placement of the ports. Now, I understand because of the design it caused that, but I've had some components that I have that don't work in it because of how it's set up. It doesn't have side-by-side like a normal multimeter, so the majority of the entire multimeter line of stuff in the world is all set up for everybody's multimeter that lays flat. So that hinders this. And at that kind of cost, that shouldn't be an issue. So, other than that, and the other thing that I don't like about it is that I was ohm testing and I noticed that I was having some inconsistencies. I'm really on the fence, and maybe I should send it back in to get it calibrated for the 3rd time. But I really don't trust this multimeter. I don't have a lot of confidence in this multimeter. That's my biggest problem. And I had some voltage drops that weren't reading correctly. I've had some done some battery draw testing, and I've had some inconsistencies there. Really don't have a lot of confidence in this tool for the money, and that's just really unfortunate, to be honest with you. If I had to do it all over again, I would have just bought another Fluke 88. Now, a couple things that I will say that I do love about it are the screen. The display is absolutely one of the best for being able to see. I do feel like, because I'm over the hill now, that when I'm reading a readout like this, it is nicer for me to not have to struggle with smaller numbers or whatnot. I have noticed in daylight and outside settings, it is a little bit harder to read, but they do have a daylight version out, which is kind of, regardless, it's kind of pointless, though, in most aspects. So normally it's inside working. But, and also the leads on this thing suck right out of the box. I switched all the leads over Let me show you. I switched all the leads that I use in this box are completely thrown away. I basically switched over to Fluke leads right away. Fluke to me is just the best, and that's all there is to it. I've learned my lesson for the second time in my life that I should have bought a Fluke. The first time I bought a Mac one, and I didn't learn my lesson the first time, so if I can help somebody out with this, well, there you go. Now I've done that. So anyways, let's move on to the next one. The next tool that I am absolutely disgusted with is this soldering clamp. Now, I can't even imagine anybody saying that this is a good tool to have for $111.90. It is so ridiculously overpriced, and then on top of that, Snap-on slaps you with another little insult. That's the $26 magnet that you have to buy with it, driving the price of this to over $125. Now, yes, I was ignorant enough to buy this tool thinking that this was great because it was kind of an impulse. I seen it and I thought, oh, I had it. Now, at the end of the day, do I care about spending the money? Honestly, the $100, I've spent a lot worse things on $100, but at the end of the day, I wish I wouldn't have bought this tool for $100. Snap-on even advertises better tools such as the Assenmacher AST WSC 15, which I'll put a link in the description for this and all the other tools that I recommend over not buying the Snap-on. The Assenmacher, and this is pretty close to Amazon price. I think they're $65 on Amazon, so even the Snap-on truck. One thing I will say about Snap-on and aftermarket stuff that they don't really rebrand, they sell it directly. Like this is an AST part number. They're not rebranding it as Snap-on. In fact, you can see right on here it says AST. They're not selling, they're not making a huge profit off of rebranding tools when you're buying these kinds of tools direct from the manufacturer, which is pretty cool about Snap-on. The other tool that I highly recommend is the Lisle 5500, which once again they're selling. These are $15 on Amazon, and once again I will link in the description for anybody that wants to buy them. But if you can see here, I just gave you the prices of two tools that were still less than the Snap-on and work equally as well. The clips come off these. I've been using these Lisle clamps for years. 20 years. They're absolutely the best one to buy on the market. They're super cheap. They work fantastic. Helping hands. And it comes with a magnetic base. All for less than $125. In fact, you could buy 4 of these and still be under the money of what you could the Snap-on one, which is totally more justifiable than spending $111. Now, I gave $90 for mine, and they didn't offer the magnetic deal, and then they came out with it later. So, once again, Snap-on just absolutely screwed over people royally on this one. Well, they didn't screw... To be honest with you, Snap-on didn't screw anybody. You make the choice to buy this stuff. That's your problem, and that's on me for buying this, to be honest with you. If I'm being fair to myself and everybody else out there and not trying to just hate on Snap-on completely, it was my choice. You don't have to buy any of this stuff, but I highly recommend not buying this one. Now, my what are we on? Our number 3 tool that I absolutely cannot stand, and I bought, once again, my bad for being a dummy, was this 7-inch inline striper cutter from Snap-on. What an absolute joke. This thing absolutely does not work. It would be great, I'm sure, for electrical contractors, HVAC guys, where you're pulling heavy gauge wire all the time and you can strip it straight out and whatnot. But as far as an automotive mechanic, this tool is an absolute joke. There are so many other wire strippers out there that are better for the money for automotive repair. This one's an absolute worthless tool. Now, in fact, speaking of wire strippers that I use, Tool Aid right here. Once again, I'll leave a link in the description for these. They're $25. These are my go-to. These are the ones I use. Mine say Matco on them, but they're rebranded. These are my go-to. I found for over 20 years that I've been using these. They've always got the job done. Automatic wire strippers, though, I will say have one flaw, and that's when they get to 20 gauge wires. Now, I've seen the Capri ones, the Nipex, plastic ones, the automatics. Those are a joke. Those are junk. And most likely, if people have those and they say they're good, they've never used these, because these are the best. OTC makes ones like these too. Several of them. Even Harbor Freight has some stuff like these. But once again, I'll leave a link in the description. These are my favorite. But you could have bought the Southwire ones, which I'm almost positive. Look at this closely. Tell me that Snap-on isn't rebranding in these Southwire ones. They're the exact same. You can see the lock, you see the spring, hammerhead design. By God, made in the USA. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, and for $27, you can buy the Southwires and save yourself $25 right off the rip. Just buy the Southwire ones if you really feel the need to buy these types of strippers. I highly don't recommend it for automotive stuff, just because you yank on wires with these, and I've already tried it. When I went to go do it, you yank on them, the wire slips out of your hand. You're tugging on a component for a computer or something like that. If you're definitely asking for a bad day. Now, my number 2 and number 1 are going to kind of probably come pretty subjective, because there's probably people out there that do enjoy them. But for me personally, I have some very good reasons of why I don't like them. My number 2 is the Snap-on Impact sockets. And I say impact, not chrome. Completely different thing. Couple things I want to run over. First of all, you listen to all these den of dummies talk about why Snap-on you shouldn't do this and that and blah, 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 blah. And they always base everything off of MSRP prices. Well, most of us guys that are go on the Snap-on trucks as professional mechanics, and I know they say we're not smart, we have bad credit, blah, 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 blah. Okay? I love it when these guys stereotype mechanics as being basically low-end, low-rent people, and you can hear the sarcasm and negativity in their voices as if we're all some sort of degenerates in the world, okay? And I know they think they're smart because they sit behind a computer and tell everybody. Anyways, regardless, my point being is that the Snap-on sockets, I bought this set of semi-deep sockets, and I'm pretty sure that I paid $259 for them on BOGO. Okay, and I thought that was a great deal. I wanted semi-deeps. I honestly had never had Snap-on impact sockets, and I bought these 3 years ago. Haven't been using Snap-on impact sockets all my life. Have been using Sunex and Mac impact sockets all my life, and have been completely satisfied with the results that I've been getting from those. Couple things why I don't like the Snap-on ones. Ones, they feel really soft. Now, I want to put out there really fast, too, before I get into this a little bit deeper. There's over 500 recipes of socket manufacturing, okay? And there's tons of people that are always like, oh, these are just rebranded ADV, Sunex, blah, blah, blah. Listen, fella, first of all, there's designs on how they're made. Second of all, there's metal recipes that they all use. Third of all, they look the same. I understand. It looks like a duck, walks like a duck. Probably, no, that's not the case. But, however, the Snap-ons do feel inherently very soft. The anvils waller out very fast. I have already warrantied out a couple of these, which just seems premature considering the fact that I didn't feel that I really used them to the point to where in a year and a half, 2 years' time, that would be the case. Now, I have always asked, I'd encourage the Snap-on dealer to give me a reason why the Snap-on impact sockets are the most superior on the market, to where they're the price that they deserve the price that they're asking for them. There's a couple good things about Snap-on impact sockets, and that's the fact that they have a detent hole in them. They're made for the good fitment and whatnot, but the wear out, I just get tired of warrantying out the sockets or not trusting them. I don't have trust. Once again, that trust factor comes into them. I don't trust these sockets. I don't trust these sockets to hold up when I need them to. And when I'm paying that kind of money, that's definitely what I want. You know what? I want to know that my girlfriend ain't going to go out and cheat on me when I'm out of town, okay? That's what I don't have with the Snap-on sockets. Listen, lady, are you gonna break on me when I need you? Like, listen, I don't want to have to go out and find me a new clam.
I'm a guy who only basically likes clams, really. I'm a clam guy. Only eat clams. That's all I do. Hey, clam fishes.
So, anyways, guys, yeah. So the 12, I just don't feel the Snap-on impact sockets are really something that I would really encourage anybody, and I really don't like them. I just don't find them. The Snap-on impact extensions too, they always use the hog rings. Can't stand those. Mostly any of the Snap-on impact stuff, I just cannot stand. So let's move on to number 1, because this one should be an interesting one. My number one is the Snap-on Pry Bars. And I want to once again explain that I do not like the Snap-on striking pry bar sets. I absolutely cannot stand these. The handles, whenever I see them in a shop where I have to use them, I just absolutely grit my teeth. I can't stand them. The handles get any type of fluid on them, and they literally are like a wet fart. Okay, they just want to slide around, and I can't stand it. I know several people have agreed with me on this, and several of you might not. I know there's a lot of people that have them. Once again, the MSRP price is kind of a moot point because I have seen them on sale for under $200. But that being said, they're not my favorite, and I almost think that you could buy any other pry bar set on the planet, which are probably rebranded by Mayhew anyways, and have a better deal. Not to mention the fact that Mac ones, which just so happen to be this month, are on sale for $147, and the normal price is $184, and they're still cheaper on MSRP price than Snap-on. Granted, this is a 3-piece set, so, you know, we're not comparing apples to apples, so I know that all you purists out there will lose your mind. Well, 3P doesn't do it. He didn't compare the 3-piece to the 4. Listen, common sense, folks. Can you just use that once in a while instead of just, you know, popping off all the time? Anyways, the Mayhew Pry Bars. You know, I will put a link in the description for Mayhew Pry Bars. And I definitely think that almost any Mayhew pry bar out there, you'll have a better deal. Now, there is one Snap-on pry bar that I will say that I absolutely, in fact, love. The Snap-on multi-position pry bar 36-inch is absolutely a favorite. Now, keep in mind, I bought mine on the Snap-on truck for $100 used. It was actually a repo one. Would I pay the $275? Ooh, I probably wouldn't. Not going to lie to you. I'm a little bit too cheap for that. But if I could get this thing for $200, maybe I would. This by far is my favorite pry bar. Now, I know this is a dislike video, but I did want to say that not all the Snap-on pry bars are the same. These are made in America. They're made by AJ Manufacturing. But the use of these and how well they are to just work are absolutely phenomenal. I love using this pry bar. It's my go-to. One of my favorite ones to use. The pry bar sets on these, you can buy them in a set, I believe. Let me see if the hell, yes, $438. That's the 8, 12, and the 16. Honestly, I feel like if I was to really talk about a pry bar set that I'd really like to, I would enjoy more than anything. I find indexing pry bars to be my most useful. I have several of them in different varieties. I have some SK ones and whatnot, and I get a kick out of using them. I really find that it saves you from having to find a different pry bar, different length, whatnot. You just get, it's a one size, crank them all. I find that these pivoting head pry bars are really multi-position, pivoting head, whatever, are really the cat's meow. So, anyways, guys, that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Ring that bell. Remember, keep your hands dirty and your money clean. Thanks for watching.